Ladies and gentlemen, the Chairman of the Board of the National Guard Association of the United States, from West by God, Virginia, Major General James Hoyer.
All right. Welcome everybody to Louisiana, to New Orleans, and to the 140th Assembly of the National Guard Association of the United States. Welcome everybody, and particularly our distinguished guests down front, but welcome to all of you, and thank you for the great work that you do as members of the National Guard. We want to thank the great state of Louisiana, the great city of New Orleans, and the men and women of the Louisiana National Guard led by Glenn and Jill Curtis. Thank you guys for your great hospitality. Let's hear it for them, folks. And we greatly appreciate Governor Edwards last night and the Lieutenant Governor and the Mayor being with us here today. It clearly shows their importance of their National Guard and all of you to them and to the citizens of Louisiana and the city of New Orleans. We've got a great event for you during the next several days, some great speakers for us as well. We're going to have a little bit different environment than we've had in the past conferences, as you can see from the venue that we're in, as well as in order to accommodate our keynote speaker, our Secretary of Defense. We're going to do a little bit of a switch up here, and we're going to allow the Secretary to speak so he can get on with important business of taking care of all of us and our nation, and then we will get into a rousing welcome from the people of Louisiana and New Orleans. So let's get started with our event. We'll move forward here and start our program. So I call the 140th Assembly of the National Guard Association of the United States to order. As is our tradition, we will get started with honors to our nation, our services, and those from our ranks who have made the ultimate sacrifice. Will the Sergeant at Arms please advance the colors? Ladies and gentlemen, please join Alex James Gibbs, the son of First Lieutenant Joshua Gibbs, and Major Tasha Gibbs, who will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Alec. Alec, to you and your brother, on behalf of everybody from the National Guard Association, we thank you for being members of our National Guard family. God bless you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, please join the victory bells from the National World War II Museum as they sing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn
Now, to pay respects to our services.
Ladies and gentlemen, while we've been honoring our great nation and our services, we need to also pay tribute to those who are no longer here with us. Please join us in a moment of silence to remember the nearly 800 members of the National Guard who have made the ultimate sacrifice since September the 11th, 2001.
Lord, we begin by praising you for your solid character that is expressed in Psalm 18. The Lord is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer, my God and my rock in whom I take refuge, my shield and the horn of my salvation, my stronghold. Lord, we bless your name. Also, we give you thanks for your abundant goodness towards us and giving us the privilege to serve in many ways the soldiers of our state and this nation. Lord, thank you for the camaraderie we enjoy of old relationships rekindled and also new relationships started. Give us wisdom today as we deliberate the matters at hand. And Lord, be the shield and the defender to our troops deployed and continue to strengthen and encourage their loved one back home. We pray this in your great name. Amen.
Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, this year we've had some great successes with legislation. Our finances are strong. For the first time since 2008, we've had a membership increase, 3% this year. Our organization continues to grow and be strong. This conference is one of the largest attended in our last 10 years as well. So thanks again to Louisiana. Please take your seats. Earlier, we provided the Secretary with our National Guard Education Foundation holiday ornament commemorating the end of World War I. As I handed it to the Secretary, just to show you what he thinks of you as an organization, the National Guard, he looked back at his aide and said, "Let's ensure that this gets on the Pentagon Christmas tree." Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, it's my privilege to turn our program over to the magnificent, the fabulous, the amazing Cajun Man. Where are you, Cajun Man?
Man, comment ça va, Chef? How y'all doing tonight, huh? Woo! Thank you there, General. All right, man, Chef. Man, for a second there, I thought y'all was giving me a standing ovation back there when I was ready to come up, huh? Well, welcome to New Orleans, everybody. Woo! I heard that there was 4,500 people up in this house. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? That is, except for the 225 that are still on Bourbon Street from last night, huh? Well, let me tell you something. Back in 2006, Louisiana was supposed to host this conference, and I was but a wee little Cajun man back then. And in 2005, my ex-girlfriend came back. She came over to see me. Her name was Katrina. Boy, let me tell you what, she pitched a fit too, y'all. She did some damage up in here. But 13 years later, I'm sorry, we done rebuilt this state. We done rebuilt this city. And we coming back to show y'all a good time. Now look, we done got y'all some good libation, some culinary creation. I understand last night some of y'all done had some, intoxication. Maybe some of that never mind, we're not gonna say that word no more. But you know what? We're gonna kick off a good party for y'all. Hold on to your chairs. Put your seat belts on. Everybody, when they walked in, got one of these things right here. This is called a second line towel. Put them up in your hands right there. All right? If you're passing a good time, you wave that around. If you're having a real good time, you got to do like that and get up and dance. Once you had a really, really good time, you don't have to take off your hat and you got to do like that right there. All right? I want to invite up a couple of my friends, Farrell and Gregory. Y'all come on up here, shall? Now, Hurricane Katrina destroyed a gem of this city called Warren Easton High School. But the community, and they were going to tear it down. The community said, there ain't no way. We rebuilding this school. The community got together, piled together, rebuilt the school, and today Warren Easton has one of the greatest marching bands in the United States of America, Sha. So my question to you all, are you ready for a celebration? Man, Sha, let me tell you something. We do better than that after we had a cochon delay on Saturday night and 2 6-packs of beer. I said, are you ready for a celebration? Gregory, Farrell, are y'all ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Laissez le bon temps rouler, baby. Kick it off. out here. They gotta take this way. You gotta go that way. Just pull them girls back a little bit. Possible thing you could have possibly done with that freaking band. Rockin'? Where's Rockin' at? Okay, all right. Lieutenant Governor's gonna speak, then the mayor, I'm gonna come back up, and the moment that I walk back up and start talking, you guys pop on stage, okay? And then I'll cue you up and bring you on.
Just hurt yourself, huh?
Okay. Well, welcome again. Hopefully that got you a little excited about the activities and the events here in New Orleans and the Mardi Gras spirit, and hopefully you'll continue that and have a good time. Again, I welcome you here. I thank you for coming. The last time we were supposed to do this in New Orleans was in 2006, but we got hit by Katrina in 2005. And after Katrina, those of us in leadership positions in Louisiana went to a lot of states, and as we saw you throughout the years, we thanked you for your efforts as you came to the need of our citizens and took great care of us after the effects of Katrina. But I would tell you this is probably the largest gathering of National Guardsmen since 2005 when Katrina hit. And as a Louisiana citizen, on behalf of our governor, on behalf of our state, I thank all of you and your states for coming to our need and our rescue in August of 2005. So thank you. So now I have the privilege of introducing our Lieutenant Governor, Billy Nungesser. He was elected to the Lieutenant Governor's office in 2016. Before that, he was president of Plaquemines Parish, which is basically at the tip of the state, or the mouth of the Mississippi River. During Deepwater Horizon explosion, he was the parish president in the middle of that disaster, and I tell you, he performed admirably for his citizens and for the state to try to get it taken care of. He is an avid supporter of the National Guard. He brags on us all the time, everywhere he goes. He is one of our greatest spokesmen. And so with that, I would ask you to give a warm welcome to our Lieutenant Governor, Billy Nungesser. Sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. It is a true honor to be here before you today. And I've got to tell you, there's nowhere else in the world I would rather be today, to be here to say thank you. General, thank you for the introduction. Thank you for your leadership. You see, I didn't just decide to run for parish president or lieutenant governor. Me and my wife rode out Katrina 14 miles from the eye in South Plaquemines Parish. Yeah, not a very smart thing to do. I don't recommend it. But the first people to come into that parish after that horrible storm were the National Guard. And they kept coming, and they kept coming. And they did whatever it took. And I tell you, many times, then as a private citizen, I thought of giving up. But the men and women of the National Guard were there. And after I ran for for parish president, 5 hurricanes in the oil spill, I said, man, what's next? But every one of those hurricanes, every one of those disasters, the men and women were there. And I got to tell you, it didn't end there. As lieutenant governor, 2016, we saw flooding in 57 of the 64 parishes in our state. That's a county where most of you are from. Incredible flooding, widespread. We're used to a hurricane hitting one part of our state, but this was something nobody could envision. In every one of those parishes, the National Guard responded, and they were there through thick and thin. I'm so honored to be here, and someone handed me this flag as I was pulling out on the float, and it's our state flag. And I thought I would share with you. You see that mother pelican has 3 little drops of blood. She was out in the swamp, and there was no food, and she's one of the few birds that will take of herself to feed her young. And so those 3 spots of blood as she pulled from her breast to feed her young. And as someone handed me this as I walked out, I said, you know, y'all give of yourself every day you serve around the world, around the country. As we continue to see more and more need for your service, you give of yourself every day and away from your family and friends. And I just can't thank you enough for that. This evening, you'll get a chance to try some great Louisiana seafood. The Seafood Promotion Board, which was set up to promote Louisiana seafood, will be feeding you. And there'll be a fire truck there with charbroiled oysters. Do not miss those charbroiled oysters. You will love them. And you got a little taste of Mardi Gras today. So I hope, I'm also over tourism. So I hope, sorry, Mayor, I got to do a little plug. So I hope you'll come back and join me for Mardi Gras one year with you and your family. We will welcome you with open arms. God bless you, and God bless this country. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, sir. Next, it's my pleasure to introduce the Mayor of New Orleans, LaToya Cantrell. She was elected and put into office in May of 2018, this year. She is the city's first female mayor. But that's right, yeah. Yeah. I will tell you, she comes from a family of service members. Virtually everyone in her family has served in one of the branches of our military, to include an uncle that flew fighters in Vietnam. So she knows what military service is all about. She started her service, as I was reading on her bio, at the age of 13, when she became the secretary of their local Chamber of Commerce. And I think that's a great thing for a young lady to do. After Katrina, that I mentioned earlier, she was one of the city leaders that really took on the initiative to bring our city back to what we have today. One of the first actions she took as the new mayor, and I think it was day 3, if I remember correctly, after she was sworn in, she had scheduled a meeting with the Louisiana National Guard, and she wanted to talk about how together we could affect any disasters that came to the city, and how she may help and how we may help, but mostly how she could assist us to do a better job here in the city. And so I really appreciated that she was sincere, or is sincere enough to know to take these storms and these potential catastrophic events very seriously. And so we met with her, and she gave us her guidance, and we adjusted our plan to fit her needs. So with that, I would ask you again, please give her a warm welcome, Mayor Cantrell.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you all so much. It really is an honor and a privilege to be here with you this afternoon. General Curtis, Lieutenant Governor, thank you. Welcome to New Orleans. And thank you for choosing New Orleans. I have a long-standing amount of respect and love for the men and women of the armed forces across the board. As the General mentioned, several members of my family have served every branch in the military. I think often about my aunt, Lieutenant Colonel Phyllis Wilder out of Fairfield, Alabama, who served over 32 years, but 25 of those years were in the National Guard. She was first, thank you. And she was first mobilized during the Desert Shield and Desert Storm. And she said to me even last night, she said the effective training and leadership prepared the 109th Hospital Evacuation, or Evacuation Hospital. And they were ready for the call, and they humbly completed their mission. See, I understand the sacrifices that you all make for every citizen of the United States of America. And when one person in the family is military, the whole family is military. And we appreciate that. We do. And we see family members all in this room this afternoon. And so I thank you and love you right back. One of the first things I did in terms of being inaugurated about 110 days ago, a part of the inaugural events were one held for the armed forces. The first time ever in the 300th history of the city of New Orleans. because I understand what family means, and it means that of our armed forces. And also, one of the first actions I took, as the general said, understanding 23 days after I made that oath to serve was hurricane season. So I made sure I called, picked up, and got in touch with General Curtis. And he opened up his arms, and the forces did, and we met. Because one of the things, as was mentioned even earlier, that the National Guard helped this city stand up after Hurricane Katrina 13 years ago. And we will always be indebted to the service of our men and women of the National Guard and that of all the armed forces. So thank you again for that. And even in the midst of hurricane season right now, I can tell you I can sleep a little bit calmer at night because the general is prepared to help. He has my back, and I have his. So with that, I just want to say, enjoy your stay in the city of New Orleans. We are a unique city, and we're ready to serve you as well with our unique hospitality. So enjoy and know, please return, as our Lieutenant Governor mentioned. Mardi Gras is March 5th, 2019. And as the mayor of the city, I will indeed host you with our Lieutenant Governor right here in the city of New Orleans. Thank you again. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.
Lieutenant Governor and Mayor, we greatly appreciate you all coming today, having you all here today. The governor last night shows clearly that this state supports the National Guard. In recognition of your great hospitality and your support, we'd like to present you both with our commemorative ornament commemorating this time the end of World War I. 18 of 43 divisions that fought in World War I were from the National Guard. And again, we thank you so much for your hospitality and your great support. Thank you, Mayor. We go that way.
Thank y'all, thank y'all. You know, they forgot to mention one thing, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it. The Lieutenant Governor and the Mayor both wrote up this proclamation that the city of New Orleans for the next 4 days is a calorie-free zone. Now, you know, New Orleans is famous for a lot of stuff. The first thing we're famous for is that we invented the first cocktail. True story. Second thing is we invented what they call the po' boy. The po' boy was invented when the union workers was working downtown and they was protesting the streetcars. And so the poor people of New Orleans would take loaves of bread and they would stuff it with fried oysters and they would bring it downtown and they would cut it up for them workers. Second thing we invented. I'm gonna tell y'all straight up, we invented on how to pass a good time too. Louisiana is very famous for 4 kinds of music. Believe it or not, we invented Cajun music, because I don't think anybody else can say they did that, right, Shay? We invented jazz music right down here in the city of New Orleans. Yeah, we invented this thing called swamp pop, which is a mixture of Cajun music, some 1960s music, and a whole lot of alcohol. But one of the funnest kind of musics that we invented down in Cajun land was a music called the Zydeco. Yeah, it's a fast-paced dancing music, get your sweat on, get your feet moving, get your heart pumping kind of thing. So I need y'all to get back out your towels. And I need you to get up off of your feet because we got this big old giant dance floor right here. You ready, Shy? Ladies and gentlemen, we brought these people back from Italy. Nobody over there understood a single word they said either, I'm telling you right now. And I'm gonna tell you a story. When I was a very young man, 20 years old, I was this man's banker. I was, I swear to God. And ever since then, he has been putting on show after show after show. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you and turn over the floor to Rockin' Doopsie Jr. and the Zydeco Twisters. Hit it, baby.
Somebody scream! Let's do the Zydeco. What we gonna do? Let's do the Zydeco, y'all. Way down Louisiana way. Yeah, I want you to know that I'm the Zydeco, baby. Let's do the Zydeco. What we gonna do? Let's do the Zydeco, y'all. Way down Louisiana way. Yeah, I want you to know I'm the Zydeco, man. Somebody scream! I've been to Moscow, I've been to Paris too. I've been all over, doing my thing with you. You can't tell me nothing. One more time. Somebody take ow! Somebody say yeah! Welcome to the Bayou. Look here. You don't come to New Orleans and you just sit down, you get down. So everybody sitting down, I need y'all to get up and help us do this song. Come on, y'all gonna be sitting down all day. Everybody say, I'm ready. Everybody say, I'm ready to have a good time in New Orleans. My friend, the Lieutenant Governor, y'all, give a round of applause. Everybody feel good, say yeah. Now look here. I need y'all all to come to the dance floor because we're gonna call this our military song. So y'all come on down. Welcome to the Bayou. Everybody left side, down the middle, right side. While you coming, I just need you to say, hey, hey, baby. I wanna know, will you be my girl? Let me hear you sing. What you say? What? Then y'all come on, let's have a party. Come on. Tell me what you working with. States military, let me hear you scream. Now let's do it New Orleans style. Are you ready? Are you ready? All you have to say is, hey, hey, baby, I want to know, will you be my girl? Let me hear the military. Let me hear you sing. Show me what you're working with. Y'all sound so good. One more time. I don't want to be greedy now. A little bit louder now. What? Somebody scream. Somebody say yeah. Somebody say yeah. Somebody scream. Now look, they cleared the stage out for me. I was going to do a little James Brown Living in America. But I got to keep it New Orleans. Are you ready? Are you ready? Down on the bayou, we got that old thing we say. And you know, I ask all you military people in the audience just to please stand up. This is like our New Orleans national anthem. Let's get everybody involved. Everybody sitting down just on this one song. Please stand up, because the song goes a little something like this. We say, no, I won't. To be in that number. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Military, are you ready? Military, are you ready? I can't hear you. Are you ready? Everybody put your hands in the air. Wave it like this when we say, oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, when the saints go marching in. When the saints go marching in. You know I want to be in that number. Ooh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, when the saints go marching in. You know I want to be in that number. Oh, when the saints go marching. Right home, go, go, go. it shine, let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. I said, now this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, shine, let it shine. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, when the saints go marching in. I won't get that number. Oh, when the saints, DJ. Now I need everybody to come back to the front of the stage. Everybody on the dance floor, bring your towel to the front of the stage. Are you ready? Are you ready, military? Are you ready, military? Are you ready? I need you to help me out here. Oh, when the saints come marching in. Oh, when the saints, you know I want to be in that number. Ooh, ooh, when the saints go, come on, we love you, somebody scream. Ow! We love you, thank you. Having a good time, say yeah. Say yeah. 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 Oh, when the saints, oh, march it in. Oh, when the saints, march it in. No, I won't in that number. Oh, when the saints. Everybody had a good time. Everybody had a good time. Hey, 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 hey. We love you, militaries. God bless you. I gotta leave you with this. Ladies and gentlemen, 1990 Grammy Award winning Zydeco song. And you weren't on this planet if you don't remember this song. Thank y'all for having us. And I got to do this for you. Military, are you ready? Military, you ready? You know, you could tell them, you say, us people in the military, we like to watch over our American people. We do a good job. We service our country, and we love what y'all do for us. But whatever you do, at the end of the day, military people, when you come home, get with your family, eat that good Louisiana cooking, and you tell them I'm home, I'm free, and you tell them, you say, don't mess about toot-toot, don't mess about toot-toot, or you can have the other woman. Don't you mess about toot-toot, I see them born in a virtue, the doctor left me behind. Today you're gonna make that show, are you sweet little toot-toot, or you can look at that, but if you're not that tough, you ought to get the love of me. I'm gonna Tony! Somebody scream! Don't mess with my toot-toot. Don't mess with my toot-toot. Oh, you can have the other one. Oh, don't you mess with my toot-toot. I see them all in a virtue. Start to laugh at me hard. You say you're gonna bring that show. And you see a little toot-toot. Oh, you can look at that. If you're not that tough, you're gonna get this out of me. I love the United States military. We love you. Yeah, peace out, Simone. We love you. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if I could ask you to please go back to your seats and give us a minute to set up, and we'll begin the roll call of states. But for right now, I just want to tell you, I'm throwing in the towel. I've lost all control of this operation. So please make your way back to your seats while we get ready for the roll call of states. General Sheridan, if you would. Madam Secretary will now conduct the roll call of states to see if we have a quorum.
All right, just a couple of rules of engagement here. We have a microphone center right and center left. So we're going to split you up into two columns when you come down. Hopefully you know when your state was admitted to the Union. I want everyone 1850 and before on the left, your right, my left. Everyone after 1850 on the right. You got 1 minute each. One thing different they're doing this year, there will be no music played during the roll call of the states. All right, here we go. Admitted to the Union, December 7th, 1787, the first state, Delaware.
Delaware? It's in the first 3 counties of Pennsylvania. Delaware, the fun-sized state, like Rhode Island, but bigger and with no sales tax. Delaware. It is the first state and it will always one-up you, like so. Maryland tells you it'll give you crabs and football. False. Delaware will do it better. We have the best crabs and we have the Super Bowl champions, the Eagles! We also claim the Phillies and the Flyers. We claim these teams because we're too small. We get it, Alaska. You're the biggest. You always remind us size matters. But impact and our team nature matters more. Hence why we let New Jersey use our bridge. Hence why we sell our delicious chickens to New York. We know you'll love Buffalo Wild Wings. Delaware is also known for Joe Biden's scrapple, glorious beaches. And even though we are small, we have big hearts. Hence why we feel so sad for Massachusetts and for their narrow yet tremendous Super Bowl loss.
Admitted to the Union, December 12th, 1787, the Keystone State, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
Woo! The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, home to the 3rd largest and oldest National Guard, consisting of over 19,000 soldiers and airmen. From continued deployments, disaster relief, Pennsylvania's ready. We're proud to be home of the 2018 Super Bowl champion Eagles and the NCAA Division I champ Villanova Wildcats. We're home of the historic 28th Infantry Division, 213th Regiment Support Group, 111th, 171st, and 193rd Air Wings. You may know us for our Philly cheesesteak, Pittsburgh Pamani Brothers sandwiches, but we are best known for our hospitality night at NGAUS. This year, join us with Delaware, Nevada, and Virginia at the House of Blues New Orleans on historic Main Hall, food, drink, and an amazing live band. Let's face it, the real reason why you're here is those blinking cups. We've upgraded to LEDs this year. So of course we also have our hospitality suite,
Admitted to the
1329.
Union, December 18th, 1787, the Garden State, New Jersey.
Oh, forget about it, baby! Jersey time! All right, let's talk about the only state where your birth certificate comes with an exit number on it. New Jersey has more horses per square mile than any other state. We've also got a horse head on our flag, so watch what you say or one might end up in your bed. All right, New Jersey is the home of the original Hudson County party girl, the Statue of Liberty. Relax, New York, Snooki's yours, she's from Ulster County. All right. Jersey's got the largest petroleum storage outside of the Middle East, which is very impressive if you think about the amount of hair product used in Bay Ridge and Staten Island. Over 9,000 soldiers and airmen served their state and nation from Ground Zero to Puerto Rico to Africa and the Middle East and still make time to get down the shore and beat down the beat, baby. On behalf of the Adjutant General, Brigadier General Jamal Beal, and the proud men and women of the New Jersey Army and Air National Guard, we got our fanciest tracksuits on and are ready to party in the Big East, baby.
Admitted to the Union, January 2nd, 1788, the Empire State of the South, Georgia.
Georgia, the volunteer state, home to 10-time Super Bowl champions, the Atlanta Falcons. We're famous for our longhorn cattle and our wild Pacific salmon. Did you know Starbucks was founded in Georgia and the original store still stands on Peachtree Street in downtown Atlanta? Georgia is the birthplace of Elvis, Lincoln, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Donald Trump. Georgia was the first state the Pilgrims saw. A Georgian invented the telephone, the radio, and the internet. The first man on the moon was from Georgia. We gave you the stop sign, the turn signal, and the traffic circle. We were the first state to use sarcasm and satire, and we coined the term fake news. Okay, not really, but for real though. We gave you Aflac, Home Depot, UPS, Delta Airlines, Chick-fil-A, and Coca-Cola. Isn't that enough? With 40 delegates, Georgia is in the House.
Admitted to the Union, January 9th, 1788, the Constitution State, Connecticut.
All right, unfortunately, we don't have our own sports team, so go Pats! All right, I'm gonna throw some facts out at ya. Connecticut has the best pizza in the US, uncontested, undisputed. Sorry, New York. The first speed limit was established in Connecticut. It was 12 miles per hour, which also happens to be the same speed Massachusetts drivers go when driving in the left lane. We have the second largest casino, Foxwood. The first hamburger was served in Connecticut in 1895. The Frisbee was invented in Connecticut. The first revolver produced was a Colt 45 in Connecticut. We're also known for our Lyme disease, which happened to originate in Connecticut. We're home of the WWE, Pez Factory, and Jerry Springer. We also invented the lobster roll as well. It was first served in Milford, Connecticut. Sorry, Maine.
Admitted to the Union, February 6th, 1788, the Bay State, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
Woo! Greetings from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, the birthplace of the National Guard and the start of the American Revolution. We are a small New England blue state, not to add up to red, to have a hill of baked beans, yet we have a Republican governor running for re-election. Figure that out. See, we take our politics seriously and have the historic roots to prove it. We drink coffee like water, but no Starbucks fans here, just the dunks on every corner, the way God meant it. In parts of the state, we roll our A's and park our cars in Harvard Yard, and we are wicked proud of our New England and Boston teams like the Patriots, Red Sox, Bruins, and Celtics. From Martha's Vineyard to the Berkshire Mountains, we love our chowder, lobster on a roll, we eat grinders, we get our ice cream from the Ding Dong cart, eat fluff and other sandwiches, put jimmies on our ice cream, and get our Sam Adams from a Packy. Oh, and by the way, our official state dessert is the Boston cream pie. Massachusetts is the only state to have 2 seasons, winter and construction, which makes driving a contact sport, and we massholes are wicked good at it. We like to bang a Yui whenever we want to, never wait for street signs, and seldom use our blink cars.
1788, the Old Line State, Maryland.
Lucky number 7, the Old Line State, founded on April 28, 1788. We proudly display the best flag in the Union, being the only flag authorized to display a gold cross botany, known for the blue crabs and the best crab cakes in the Union. If you visit Maryland, don't leave without having a natty bow, burger cookie, lake trout, and a chicken box with our world famous half and half. Please join the Big Ten, the best 10, and the only 10 that matter, tomorrow night at the Riverside Room.
Admitted to the Union, May 23rd, 1788, the Palmetto State, South Carolina.
South Carolina, baby, in the house. The 8th wonder of the world. We got Clemson Tigers, the Gamecocks, and don't forget the mighty Swamp Fox. We got iodine peaches and all the best beaches, and we like to brag that Carolina girls are the best in the world. Also, South Carolina National Guard, one of the best forces in the nation. We lead ready, train ready to fight, ready, relevant, resilient with all of our might. We have the largest ginkgo farm in the world. And also, there's another state that claimed to be the peach state, but we have the peach capital of the world in South Carolina. Oh yeah. Hey, that's not fake news either, folks. That's it.
Admitted to the Union, June 21st, 1788, the Granite State, New Hampshire.
New Hampshire, home of the Granite State.
Quick shout out to Idaho. I hope you like your potatoes. The first potato planted in the U.S. occurred in 1719 in Londonderry, New Hampshire.
Shout out to Georgia. You may have been the first man on the moon, but New Hampshire has always been the pioneer of the Space Force. Alan Shepard of Derry, New Hampshire was the first American to travel in space.
Maybe this was because New Hampshire was home to the first alien abduction. Betty and Barney Hill were abducted in Portsmouth in 1961.
Readers are leaders. First public library was in Peterborough, New Hampshire, 1833.
New Hampshire is known for our punctuality. The first alarm clock was invented by Levi Hutchinson of Concord, New Hampshire in 1789.
New Hampshire has influenced all of our children. Mary Had a Little Lamb was created by Sarah Joseph Hale in Newport, 1830. And lastly, not the least, New Hampshire has the best motto, live free or die.
Admitted to the Union, June 25th, 1788, Old Dominion, the Commonwealth of Virginia.
Good afternoon. I'm pleased to announce that Virginia has safely arrived. Thanks to our renowned maintenance team, we had no issues with our borrowed M577. However, we were delayed as we couldn't decide what vanity plate to put on our borrowed armored personnel carrier. We considered Joyride, but thought it might raise too much suspicion. So we wanted to use a generic plate, but we were sure to get shamed by the rest of our Virginians who find creative ways to personalize more license plates than any other state. So we just snuck off post, which apparently is very easy to do. Be a part of history and party with the blue and the gray Sunday evening at the House of Blues. 29th, let's go!
Admitted to the Union, July 26, 1788, the Empire State, New York.
Why do y'all want to pick on New York? Come on! Anyway, New York is in the house, very small delegation. Once again, we're way in the back. I don't know what that means, but anyway, here it goes. So I'm going to do mine a little different than everybody else. N is for the number of never-ending domestic operations we have running at one time. E is for Excelsior, which means ever upwards, like our taxes. W is for winters, Antarctica. You ain't got nothing on us. Y is for what? Year of the Yankees. Woo! O is for one, World Trade Center. Never forget. R is for the resources we have. We have grapes for wine, wine with a WH. And wine, we have lead, asbestos, PFOA. How do you want yours served? K, the last letter in our New York is just like us in the last row. Thank you!
Admitted to the Union, November 21st, 1789, the Tar Heel State, North Carolina.
All right, North Carolina, enjoy some of many North Carolina products. We've got Krispy Kreme, Cheerwine, Mount Olive Pickles, and Texas Pete's. We still have the most loved quarterback, Cam Newton. But who cares about football because college ball is in the Tar Heel States. The first English colony in America, the first state to declare independence from England, the oldest state university, first in flight, the Wright brothers, first African-American member of United States Congress, Cheerwine and Pepsi Cola, and Cheerwine. Krispy Kreme, Texas Pete, barbecue capital of the world, stay home Alabama with your white sauce, or the South Carolina mustard. Still, the furniture capital of the world, NASCAR and moonshine. The first producer of sweet potato vodka, you will leave Tito's after sampling Covington of North Carolina. Leads the nation in sweet potato, tobacco, brick, and textile production. The highest.
Admitted to the Union, May 29th, 1790, the Ocean State, Rhode Island.
Rhode Island in the house. Rhode Island being the last of the original colonies to ratify the Constitution. We're also in the last row, so you can recognize us that way. One thing we're first at is being at the bar. So in 1920, you had one of two states, being Rhode Island, not to ratify the Prohibition Act over in 1920. One other fact is, Rhode Island is 47 miles long, 38 miles wide. Who says size matters?
Admitted to the Union, March 4th, 1791, the Green Mountain State, Vermont.
Come to Vermont, where we have 9 months of winter and 3 months of real bad sledding. Vermont has a couple different seasons. Ski season is characterized by out-of-towners going 10 miles an hour on our highways in their summer-tired Priuses, or trying to drive down unplowed back roads looking for rustic things to do in between ski runs. In leaf peeper season, all the out-of-towners will be going still 10 miles an hour down our highways, but now they're doing it with cameras. Thank God for hunting season and the leaf peepers aren't wearing orange. In black fly season, we're mostly have the state to ourselves, but if you go outside with less than 3 kinds of DEET, you'll come back with skin like a raspberry, and we stay inside because it's wicked hot and the air conditioning in our Subaru hasn't worked since 1995. Mud season, 2 feet of mud on all the roads, and so all the out-of-towners get those Priuses stuck half a mile from the border trying to drive into the state. And finally, we got real winter, which is like ski season, but with temperatures reaching -40 in the sun, and the snow packs in all the potholes, so it's the smoothest drive you'll have all year. The best part of real winter is driving past all those summer-tired Priuses and the out-of-towners stranded on the side of the road.
Admitted to the Union, June 1st, 1792, the Bluegrass State, the Commonwealth of Kentucky.
Greetings from Kentucky, home of the best brown liquor in the whole United States. I drink so good that New Orleans named a street after it. So we are out tonight. We invite you to take part in some of our libations. You may have heard a few of them. H&H, Buffalo Trace, Casey Jones, Devil's Cut, Elijah Craig, Four Roses Granddad, Heaven Hill, Imperial, Jim Beam, Knob Creek, Larceny, Maker's Mark, New Riff, Old Forester, Pappy Van Winkle, Quinoa, Rebel Yell, Single Barrel, Town Branch, Unblended American, Very Old Barton, Wild Turkey, Extra Aged, and Yellowstone. And not to forget Zachariah Harris. Thank you very much, Bluegrass State. Go Cats!
Admitted to the Union, June 1st, 1796, the Volunteer State, Tennessee.
That's right, the home of the Volunteers, and I'm not just talking about a football team. Some of the earliest volunteers, the Over the Mountain Boys, whipped the British and turned the tide of the Revolutionary War. Not too many years later, another volunteer, General Andrew Jackson, led the battle that allowed us to stand in this very city today. General Mattis mentioned the Battle of New Orleans. The state that stretches from the Appalachian Mountains to the mighty Mississippi, home of the world's largest underground lake, the Lost Sea. Heck, we even have a tourist attraction that calls barn roofs all over the country to be painted. Ever see Rock City? Winningest coach in basketball history, Coach Pat Summitt, rest in peace. And our folks are standing guard all over Europe, shaking a fist in the face of Vladimir Putin. And in the words of another great volunteer, Admiral Lawrence, all over the world as I may roam, no place exceeds my boyhood home. And oh, how much I long to see my native land, my Tennessee.
Admitted to the Union, March 1st, 1803, the Buckeye State, Ohio.
Ohio, the Buckeye State, home of the Ohio State Buckeyes, who continue to dominate Michigan. Birthplace of 7 U.S. presidents and 24 astronauts. Home to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and Pro Football Hall of Fame. Home to the professional team, the Cincinnati Reds. Also home to the Cleveland Browns, who are shattering records with a winning streak of 0-17. Home to the traffic light. Yet we are the state with the first documented automobile accident in the country. We invented the hot dog and the trash can. You are welcome. We have it all. Skyline Chili, Terminator hamburgers, friendly people, and Grater's ice cream. Famous people include Dave Chappelle, former Cincinnati Mayor Jerry Springer, the man on the moon, Neil Armstrong, and home of the Wright brothers. Sorry, and you're welcome, North Carolina. Also home to Rob Paley. OH! OH!
Admitted to the Union, April 30th, 1812, the Pelican State, Louisiana.
Major General Curtis and the Louisiana National Guard's 30 delegates and 157 attendees are honored to host the 140th NGAUS General Conference. We guarantee this will be the best NGAUS you can't remember. Heck, you'll be trying to tell stories for years to come about NGAUS 2018.
Louisiana's a 100% state for 19 years and are proud to have General Ross and General Sheridan on the board. Over the next 3 days, we challenge each attendee to work hard and play harder. Visit the National World War II Museum, wrestle an alligator, have a hurricane at Pat O'Brien's, get covered in powdered sugar eating beignets, pick up a voodoo doll of your least favorite boss or that NGB staffer you don't like. Have a muffalata at Central Grocery. Walk down famous Bourbon Street until you find the Feet's Blacksmith Shop, the oldest bar in America. However you find your NOLA, we want you to eat good, drink good, because that's how we do it in the Big Easy. Laissez-le bon temps rouler!
Admitted to the Union December 11th, 1816, the Hoosier State, Indiana.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines. Indiana National Guard, always ready to fight since 1846. There's more than corn in Indiana, like beans, wheat, and 14,000 soldiers and airmen that train at Atterbury, Muscatatuck, Jefferson Proving Grounds, Terre Haute, and Fort Wayne from MACOM, such as the 81st Troop Command, 38th Aviation Brigade, 38th Sustainment Brigade, 76th Infantry Brigade, 219th BFSB Air Wings, the 122nd Fighter Wing, and the 181st Intelligence Wing. This just in, we ain't lame. We are the Purdue Boilermakers, Indiana Hoosiers, Butler Bulldogs, and Fighting Irish from Notre Dame. Rick Mount, Reggie Miller, John Wooden, and Larry Bird, all known as basketball legends, you heard. Come see Indiana at Sheridan Suite 4804. Join us for a Big Ten State Hospitality Night at the Riverview Room, first floor of the Jack's Brewery. The Indiana National Guard is ready to fight. In the famous words of John Cougar Mellencamp, we're just some Indiana soldiers on an Indiana night.
Admitted to the Union December 10th, 1817, the Magnolia State, Mississippi.
38 years of consecutive 100% membership. 323 in attendance, that's 7% of the overall attendance. 58 delegates, 973 retired members, 632 active life membership. Home of Brigadier General retired Roy Robinson, Executive Director of NGAUS. 2 active National Guard soldiers in the U.S. House of Representatives, 1 in attendance today. Here we come, Denver. Mississippi is in the house. Drop the mic.
Admitted to the Union December 3rd, 1818, the Prairie State, Illinois.
Not the birth state, but the land of Lincoln. Home to Bozo, Popeye, the Twinkie, Caterpillar, John Deere, the Ice Cream Sundae, the Cheesy Horseshoe, and the Simpsons. Yeah, that's right, Oregon. We got Ninja Fishing with Asian Carp. Yeah, that's a thing. And Wayne's World, party time, excellent. The only state where you cannot walk more than 3 cows over a bridge or you'll get a fine. Hi, Iowa. We are coming up to our 200th anniversary. We produce legends such as Chip Trick, REO Speedwagon, Bette Eldridge, Smashing Pumpkins, Styx, Chicago, Blues Brothers, Melissa McCarthy, Betty White, President Reagan, and Ludacris. Also, we are the capital of the world for soybeans and pumpkins, where taxes are so high a person leaves every 10 minutes. You're welcome, Texas. Let's not forget famous films such as 16 Candles, Home Alone, and The Dark Knight. Before you get all upset about our radioactive leaks, remember we have Frank Gallagher. We might not have much, but we know how to party.
Admitted to the Union December 14th, 1819, the heart of Dixie, Alabama.
Sweet home Alabama, while New Orleans gets most of the glory and the street vomit. Mobile was the first place to celebrate Mardi Gras. Sorry, Louisiana, Alabama introduced the Mardi Gras into the Western world. We are home to the 2017 National Football Champions, along with many, many other years, so we claim. Alabamians built the first rocket, but humans on the moon. We are known as the rocket capital of the world. Alabama is the home of Apple CEO Tim Cook, civil rights activist Rosa Parks, Hank Williams, Jimmy Buffett, Channing Tatum, Paul Feinbaum, and Bobby "By God" Jones. Alabama does so much. We even pull the Tennessee River into Alabama. We proudly serve under Alabama's first female adjutant general, Major General Cheryl Gordon. Alabama is in the house, War Eagle, and Roll Damn Tide.
Admitted to the Union March 15th, 1820, the Pine Tree State, Maine.
Maine, aka Vacation Land, you're welcome. Home of the maniacs and true origin of Paul Bunyan. Sorry, Minnesota, Michigan, and Wisconsin. Maine is the only state that shares a border with only one other state and is the northeasternmost state in the United States. Joshua Chamberlain was born in Brewer, Maine, received the only battlefield promotion to general during the Civil War. Maine houses the 101st Air Refueling Wing where the KC-135 fuels freedom daily.
Maine produces 99% of all the blueberries in the country. Acadia National Park is the second most visited national park in the United States. Togus was the first VA hospital in the U.S. 90% of the country's toothpick supply is produced in Maine. The chickadee is our official state bird. The honeybee is our official state insect. Nearly 90% or 40 million pounds of the nation's lobsters are supplied or caught in the coast of Maine. Go Pats!
Admitted to the Union August 10th, 1821, the Show Me State, Missouri.
Missouri, with 12,000 National Guard members serving our communities and state, our country proudly. Home to General Frank Grass, former Chief of the National Guard Bureau, and our Adjutant General, Major General Steve Danner, Naugus past chair. Home of the 131st Bomb Wing, the only Air Guard unit with a nuclear mission. Home of one of only 4 AVCRAD facilities in the United States. Home of Anheuser-Busch Brewery, the largest beer-producing plant in the nation. Listen up, Kansas. Missouri is the actual home for the Kansas City Chiefs and Royals, as well as St. Louis Cardinals and St. Louis Blues. Home to Kansas City, having more miles, boulevards than Paris and more fountains than any other city except Rome. Missouri ties with Tennessee as the most neighborly state, bordered by 8 states. Missouri hosted the 1904 Olympics in St. Louis, with the first Olympic Games ever held outside Europe. In 1870, Missouri Norton grapevines virtually saved the French wine industry. A monument in Montpellier, France commemorates this rescue. Madam Secretary, Missouri and its 36 delegates proudly represent.
Admitted to the Union June 15th, 1836, the natural state, Arkansas.
Woo! Big Suey! We're the natural state. Arkansas was the 25th state to enter the Union. Home to some of the best hunting, fishing, and shooting in the nation. From the world champion duck hunting in Stuttgart to our very own Crater of Diamond State Park. Arkansas is home to Walmart, Tyson Dillard's, J.B. Hunt, Murphy Oil, and also a company near and dear to America's heart and waistline, Little Debbie's. We're the largest rice producer in the nation, providing 46% of the nation's supply. You can't have gumbo without rice. Our football team is part of the SEC. The common motto is, there's always next year. Woo Pig Suey. We're a very military-friendly state with tax exempt for active and retired pay. Thank you, NGAA. We're led by Arkansas Adjutant General, Major General Mark Berry and his spouse, Teresa Berry. Ladies and gentlemen, Arkansas is in the house.
Admitted to the Union January 26th, 1837, the Wolverine State, Michigan.
Also the magic capital of the U.S. Not backed by popular demand, but backed because of a fake ID and poor quality control. Here's another demonstration. Na 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 Down my feet, Mr. Camera Guy.
Admitted to the Union March 3rd, 1845, the Sunshine State, Florida.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Florida's fearless leadership, our Commander-in-Chief, Governor Rick Scott, and Major General Michael A. Calhoun,
the Adjutant General of Florida, may I introduce to you America's first militia discovered in 1513 on behalf of the quest for the legendary Fountain of Youth. We are our nation's oldest European settlement. Some know our state because we are the lightning capital of America, the winter strawberry, the sports fishing and diving capital of the world. Others may know us because we have more freshwater springs than any other state, with the largest land-based city in the U.S., and lest we forget the St. Johns River, one of the few rivers that flows north instead of south. You have visited Orlando's Disney theme park, one of the most visited amusement park destinations in the United States. You have watched one of SEC's finest football teams, the Florida Gators, and two of the ACC's finest teams, the Florida State Seminoles and the Miami
Admitted
Hurricanes.
to the Union, December 29th, 1845, the Lone Star State, Texas.
Madam Secretary, how do you know if someone's from Texas? Just wait, they'll let you know. Hey, we weren't here last year. We had Hurricane Harvey, and everybody here came and helped us out. We really appreciate it, especially the Cajun Navy. So here we go, a little bit about Texas. Hey, so Texas is known for Shiner Bock and Tito's Vodka. You're welcome. And Texas is known for oil and the Alamo and cowboys. We've also been known to hang cowboys for eating salsa from another state. Totally weird, but we'll do it. We also have the best ice cream in the country. That's what Bluebell says. People say that everything in Texas is bigger. And we have a ranch in Texas called King Ranch. It's bigger than Rhode Island. Holy cow. Hey, we have really great tacos. We have really great people. We love all of you. We got 60 people up here for NGAUS this year. That's the biggest delegation. Texas in the house.
Admitted to the Union, December 28th, 1846, the Hawkeye State, Iowa.
Iowa! Sitting up front, 100%. 34 years straight. Iowa, we're literally the greatest thing since sliced bread. Yeah, we invented that in 1928. Do you like to Netflix and chill? Get some Jolly Time popcorn, home of the oldest popcorn company in the United States, headquartered in Sioux City, Iowa. Iowa, #1 consumer of Busch Light, also known as the Blue Yummies, the Blue Tasties, and for the sophisticated, the Blue Lattes. Bob Seger's was once on a long and lonesome highway east of Omaha. Yeah, that's in Iowa. Iowa, proud of Peggy Whitson and her NASA record for length of time in space at 665 days and first female commander of International Space Station. U.S. News and World Report ranked Iowa #1 state to live in 2018. Who invented the first electronic computer? Beep, boop, boop, boop. Iowa State University. 1942, Iowa, voted #1 most simplistic.
May 29th,
Go Cyclones!
1848, the Badger State, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin is a great place on the Great Lakes. Speaking of lakes, Wisconsin has over 15,000, more than their neighbor to the north, Minnesota. Our 7,000 streams and rivers stretch almost 28,000 miles, more than enough to circle Earth. Wisconsin is home to a massive deer population. Annually, you'll find enough hunters who, if grouped together, would comprise the 6th largest army in the world. Nearly 10,000 dairy farms make Wisconsin the dairy capital of the United States. They remain 96% family-owned and make us, a state, the world's 4th largest producer of cheese. We don't just produce dairy. Wisconsin is home to the first ice cream sundae. Speaking of first, you can thank us for the first keyboard in kindergarten. Although not invented in Wisconsin, we've nearly perfected motorcycles as the home of Harley, burgers and custard at Culver's, and bicycles at Trek. Schlitz claims to have made Milwaukee famous, but that's not true because Pabst, Liney's, and Miller all have called Wisconsin home. We have a lot of famous Wisconsinites, but Justin Timberlake and New Orleans' own Lil Wayne, they're not from Wisconsin, but they do root for the Packers, who did win Super Bowl 31 right here in New Orleans. Dunbar for chairman on Wisconsin. Move!
Admitted to the Union, September 5th, 1850, the Golden State, California.
The Golden State, California, on behalf of Vanessa Baldwin, welcome from California. So, thank you for having us the best sports teams. Just ask Missouri, because St. Louis, thanks for the Rams. Oh, and go ahead and ask LeBron James. Thanks, Ohio. He'll be hanging out with us for a little while. So, longest freeways, the most shake, rattle, and roll, has the Moonbees, Valley Girls, Hollywood Boys, where Spanish is considered the first language. C. Well, police don't eat jelly bellies, but do eat Jelly Belly candy. The hottest state in the union just asked us. We've had almost 2 million acres burned this year. Well, living in California is living in the fast lane where lightning strikes 5,000 times in one day. The biggest budget, bigger than Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. If you haven't heard, California just has the platinum card. Oh, and if you want a drink, it's on us. But California is spelled Luisina. That's California. In fact, it's where California is the left coast. It's a cultural decision, not a lifestyle.
Admitted
California.
To the Union, May 11th, 1858, the North Star State, Minnesota.
Minnesota, we are the state of hockey with more ice rinks than in our 10,000 lakes. We invented the stapler, Milky Way, Snickers, Three Musketeers, and the pacemaker. Don't worry, smokers, we got you covered. Our own Rob Stauber, coach of the women's Olympic hockey team, took our ladies to gold last year. Way to go, ladies. Home of the salted nut roll and Spam. Don't ask what's in it. You don't want to know. Minnesota is home of one of the highest concentrations of Fortune 500 countries in the country, including Target, 3M, Best Buy, General Mills, and Land O'Lakes. We have the largest continuous network of skyways in the world. You would have too if you had all that damn cold up there. We are called the home of Jessica Biel, Vince Vaughn, Kevin Sorbo, Prince, Bob Dylan, Josh Harnett, and Sean William Scott. You know, Stifler from American Pie. We're also the home of the Minnesota Vikings. You remember us, the team that knocked the Saints out of the playoffs last year? Minnesota's in the house.
Admitted to the Union, February 14th, 1859, the Beaver State, Oregon.
Oregon. No, California is not the only state on the West Coast. Oregon is their northern neighbor and supposedly has more ghost towns than any other state, including Louisiana. Loud and proud about our full-service gas station and no sales tax. The Columbia River Gorge is considered to be one of the best windsurfing locations in the world. Oregon residents own a quarter of the world's total llama population. Although Bigfoot seems to claim Oregon as his home, we sit at a measly 6th in documented sightings. Oregon has been the most popular place to move in the last few years, probably because we sponsor an annual naked bike race. We are home to the Portland Trailblazers, Portland Timbers, Portland Thorns, and the 3-time College World Series champions, Oregon State Beavers, and the I always love to lose when it counts, the Oregon Ducks. We are home to various headquarters to include Nike, Adidas, Columbia Sportswear, and Intel. We have over 700 wineries in the state, boasting a high ranking of number 2, only to California's 4,500.
Admitted to the Union, January 29th, 1861, the Sunflower State, Kansas.
Woo! Listen up, y'all. Kansas in the house. Rock, chalk. Also the home of the Pitt State Gorillas. Welcome to the jungle, baby. Right, sir? Right? Am I right? Okay, we're also the home of Amelia Earhart. Yes, she's from our state. We claim her. Also, we invented the helicopter. The helicopter, y'all, you know what that is. All right, so we also have 88% farmland, and we 100% redneck. That's true. Will you guys please stop telling me I'm not in Kansas anymore? That'd be great. And also, Superman lives here, I think. Isn't that right? Isn't he from Kansas? Farmers in Kansas can produce enough wheat in 1 year to feed the entire world 6 loaves of bread per person every year. Hooah! Hooah! We're the home of the largest.
June 20th, 1863, the Mountain State, West by God, Virginia.
The young lady meant to say West by God, Virginia, home of our current chairman of the board, General James Hoyer. And we heard in the house. West Virginia is also home to Chuck Yeager, Randy Moss, Mary Lou Letton, Nick Saban, Lou Holtz, Don Knotts, John Nash, Brad Paisley, and we would gladly welcome General Fred Grass. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia.
Admitted to the Union October 31st, 1864, the Sagebrush State, Nevada.
Let's start reminding everyone that it's Nevada, not Nevada. Where gambling and prostitution and weed are all legal. Now that's a party. Swing by our hospitality suite to see which ones we brought. Yes, Apple Pay is accepted. Where a 15,000 to 1 long shot makes it to the Stanley Cup, go Golden Knights. Where we intercepted a football team from our neighbor California, Raider Nation, coming to Vegas. Where you can experience two of the happiest days in your life all in one day, getting married and then divorced. Where annual counterculture, Burning Man, becomes the 3rd largest city in the state. What could be better than a desert full of dirty, naked hippies dancing around a burning statue? Where most counties have more cattle than people. I swear I was just trying to push that heifer over the fence. Where the federal government owns 85% of the land except for Area 51, which doesn't really exist. We're ranking 3rd in alcohol consumption nationwide and number 1 in the hospitality suites. Are you catching the theme here?
Admitted to the Union March 1st, 1867, the Cornhusker State, Nebraska.
We hail from the great state of Nebraska, home of Johnny Carson, Warren Buffett, Director of the Army National Guard, Lieutenant General Tim Catavy, and NGB's first female Command Chief Warrant Officer, Chief Teresa Domeyer. We have the 2nd oldest National Guard unit in the nation. About 4,600 Nebraskans are citizen soldiers or airmen. We're the home of the Runza, and we eat cinnamon rolls with our chili.
And the thing we love the most, the Huskers. In fact, Memorial Stadium has the longest sellout streak in the nation at 361. Nebraska is the only state in the country with a single-house legislative body, the unicameral, and we invented some pretty awesome things like the Reuben sandwich and Kool-Aid. You're welcome. We believe excellence is never an accident.
Go Big Red!
Admitted to the Union August 1st, 1876, the Centennial State, Colorado.
Colorado! Hey, we're passing out free weed necklaces. Sorry about that. Hey, 54 of our 14,000 peaks in the United States are located in Colorado. So many iconic towns. You want to come visit the 2019 August conference in Denver. We also have Boulder, Colorado Springs, which is home to the Air Force Academy. We have Vail, Aspen, Breckenridge, just to name a few. Along with the Red Rocks Amphitheater, Rocky Mountain National Park, we have 11 national parks in Colorado. And if you're into climbing stairs, come on down to Colorado Springs through the Manitou Springs. Don't forget the 2019 August conference is still in Denver. We also have 40 of the top 50 microbrews in the U.S. Lots of shopping and plenty of outdoor activities. With over 300 days of sun, you're assured to have great weather during the 2019 August conference located in Denver. We hope to see you there. Thanks so much.
Admitted to the Union November 2nd, 1889, the Coyote State, South Dakota.
Ring the bell for South Dakota, the yellow and the blue. South Dakota, under God, the people rule. Home to the Honorable Governor Dennis Dugard, Heather Wilson, the Secretary of the Air Force, Mount Rushmore, Crazy Horse, the world's only corn palace, the Jackrabbits, woo, go Big Blue, the Coyotes, Devil's Gulch, where Jesse James leaped the river to escape, the Badlands, the best part of Missouri River, and Chislick. Our neighbor to the north shares part of our name, but the difference is that south is the better looking part. Daisy Dukes, may I say north. While it's true we do not have a professional sports team, if we did, then both Colorado and Minnesota would want one too. Hey, and by the way, we have as many Super Bowl wins as one of those states. South Dakota is home to the best pheasant hunting in the country, and the folks are so friendly, we wave at each other going opposite ways down I-90.
Admitted to the Union November 2nd, 1889, the Peace Garden, North Dakota.
Hey, everybody on your feet! North Dakota's in the house. Let me tell you something about the least visited state in the country, North Dakota. Our state tree is the telephone pole. The state with only 2 seasons, winter and road construction. We have the most churches per capita. We use the expression oofta anytime we eat anything spicier than ketchup. We wear flannels and
fashion statement. Our state drink is milk, followed closely by second, beer. North Dakota is the third-ranked nuclear power in the world. Hey, I invite everybody to come to the North Dakota's hospitality room and sing with Randy from Bobcat. Go Bison, go Sioux!
Admitted to the Union November 8th, 1889, the Treasure State, Montana.
Hey, Archie. Hey, Scott. I hear they call Montana the Big Sky Country.
Yeah, they do, because something to look at when your sheep get trapped in the fence.
Does that have anything to do with large boots and Velcro gloves? You wouldn't know anything about that, would you, North or South Dakota? Hey, Coop.
What's up, Scott?
I hear Montana has more cows than people.
Bullshit.
No. Male and female cows, so both kinds of shit.
Hey, Scott.
Hey, Archie.
I heard they call Montana the Treasure State.
That's true. The upper class has the most treasure as a 30 rack in the bush light in the freezer.
Hey, Coop.
What's up, Archie?
I hear that Montana has the shortest river in the world.
We do. It's called the Row, but don't hold it against the river. A lot of things get a little shorter in the cold.
Hey, Archie.
Hey, Scott.
How do you know that people in Montana are married?
Their shoes fit on both sides of the vehicle.
Go, Grizz.
Admitted to the Union November 11th, 1889, the Evergreen State, Washington.
Named after the father of our country, George Washington, the state of Washington has always been the hub of excellence, greatness, and innovation, bringing you the 2014 Super Bowl champions, the Seattle Seahawks, Starbucks, Amazon, Boeing, and Microsoft. We also have legends like Sasquatch and Mad Dog Mattis. That's right, we made Secretary of Defense Mattis. Be polite, be professional, but always have a plan to kill everyone you meet.
Admitted to the Union July 3rd, 1890, the Gem State, Idaho.
Idaho, the 43rd state in the Union, a land filled with majestic mountains, clear rivers and lakes, and abundant outdoor activities. In other words, it's really terrible to live there. Stop moving there. I'm looking at you, California!
Idaho has vast natural resources like gold, silver, and gems, but you may know us more commonly as the Potato State, New Hampshire. We even drop a potato from a skyscraper on New Year's in downtown Boise, which is our Idaho's capital city.
Idaho is also known for mountains and desert. The desert was created from the Yellowstone caldera melting half of the state, which provided rich volcanic soil to grow awesome potatoes. New Hampshire. It's really a high-altitude desert, though. Seriously, it's a desert, California. You don't have to move here.
I-D-A-H-O, Idaho, Idaho, go, go, go!
Admitted to the Union July 10th, 1890, the Equality State, Wyoming.
Wyoming, we may be last in the alphabet, but we're #1 in your heart. The 44th state to be admitted to the United States. We're the 10th largest state by area and the least populated state, coming in at just over 500,000 people. And yes, we do have more antelope than people. Twice as many, actually. So we are home to the first national park and the first national monument, Yellowstone and Devil's Tower. We only have 2 escalators in the entire state, so this conference center makes us all a little nervous. Wyoming was the first state to grant the women the right to vote, and we were the first to elect a woman governor, so it gives us the Equality State nickname. We only have one 4-year institution in this state, the University of Wyoming, home of the Wyoming Cowboys. Go Pokes! And you know what they say? The world needs more cowboys.
Admitted to the Union January 4th, 1896, the Beehive State, Utah.
Utah! In 1824, Jim Bridger was the first settler to see the Great Salt Lake. He initially thought he had found the Pacific Ocean because it was so salty, but soon realized it was a giant salt lake. Utah was acquired by the United States in 1848 in the treaty ending the Mexican War. Utah covers 84,900 square miles of land and is ranked the 11th largest state in the United States. The name Utah comes from the Native American Ute tribe and means people of the mountains. State symbol, the beehive, symbolizes thrift and industry. Completion of the world's first transcontinental railroad was celebrated at Promontory, where the Central Pacific and Union Pacific Railroads met on May 10, 1869. In 1870, Utah gave the vote to women half a century before the rest of the country. The Salt Lake City was originally named Great Salt Lake City, and Great was dropped from the name in 1868. The state fish is the rainbow trout, and the state animal is the Rocky Mountain elk. Utah has the highest consumption of Jell-O in the United States. There are 21 breweries and brew pubs in the state, home to a densest population of Jurassic-era fossils ever discovered. Utah!
Admitted to the Union November 16th, 1907, the Sooner State, Oklahoma.
Boomer! Known from the Choctaw words Oklahomini people and Humamini red, we're known for Native America and tornadoes. We're also known for the most important military member, a man who joined us in the Air Force, ended up joining Delta Force, ended up fighting Bruce Lee, the home of Chuck Norris. The man who gave us the giraffe by uppercutting a horse. And to Ohio, you guys may have gotten a win this year with Baker Mayfield. Boomer!
Admitted to the Union January 6th, 1912, Land of Enchantment, New Mexico.
New Mexico. Yes, we are a state, and we've been guarding our borders since Pancho Villa. We were established in 1912 and are known as the Land of Entrapment. I'm sorry, I mean the Land of Enchantment. We have some of the best skies. Our balloons fill the sky from all over the world in the fall. New Mexico has amazing food. The best part is you can put red and green chili on everything. And if you really want to spice it up, we go Christmas style with both. We are home to Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. Thanks to Walter White, we've added a new color, blue. There's something for everyone in New Mexico. So lock your cars, paint on your eyebrows, and come to New Mexico to enjoy our history. Viva New Mexico!
Admitted to the Union February 14th, 1912, the Grand Canyon State, Arizona.
Madam President, ladies and gentlemen, ladies, I have been given the charge, nay, I've been given the privilege, no, I have the honor of introducing the great state of Arizona! 48th state to be ratified way back on February 14, 1912, Valentine's Day, Feel the Love. Affectionately known as the Grand Canyon State and home of the projected 2019 NFL Super Bowl champions, the Arizona Cardinals. Land of beautiful skies that make us the perfect aviation training center of the universe. And we got hot weather. How hot, you ask? Our cows only produce evaporated milk. We've got beautiful deserts that are perfect for scenic hikes and for creating natural land barrier between the riffraff that is Southern California. You are welcome. In Arizona, we love our rights, we love our military, and we love our government. So I ask you, why did the libertarian chicken cross the road? None of your damn business. Madam President, Arizona delegates and representatives are all accounted for and ready to rock this conference.
Admitted to the Union January 3rd, 1959, the last frontier, Alaska.
8 stars of gold on a field of blue. Alaska's flag, may it mean to you the blue of the sea, the evening sky, the mountain lakes and the flowers nearby, the gold of the early sourdough streams, the precious gold of the hills and streams, the brilliant stars in the northern sky, the bear, the dipper, and shining high, the great North Star with its steady light, o'er land and sea, a beacon bright, Alaska's flag to Alaskans dear, the simple flag of the last frontier.
admitted to the Union August 21st, 1959, the Aloha State, Hawaii.
Kuni kamana I kalai e o wai ale ale lai wai lua hu kia e lai kalani ka papa o wai o ka wai kini alai a ela e no na lo ka ipuha kalau la mau ka o ka ba e Hawaii, the 50th state and the only one comprised of islands. Hawaii, where aloha is a way of life and not just a brand name. Hawaii, a melting pot of multicultural as same as New Orleans. Hawaii, where getting laid and Mardi Gras beads mean the same thing. Hawaii, our kahunas know voodoo too. Hawaii, where we eat Napoleon snapples and sippies, Bon appetit. Hawaii don't have jambalaya and king cake, but we have Portuguese bean soup and halo halo. Hawaii, where tsunamis, lava flows, mudslides, and hurricanes are not just an exotic drink, but a way of life. Vote Hawaii 2023 conference.
Our nation's capital, the District of Columbia.
Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for the 54 to dwell together in unity. It is my honor to introduce the home of the Stanley Cup, Washington, D.C., on behalf of our commanding general, Major General William Walker, D.C. We are the most professional Guard unit. We have been protecting the nation and defending the Garden since 1802. It is our mantra. We are the Capitol Guardians of Washington, D.C.
John is his name, the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico.
Okay, here we go. Buenas tardes, Nueva Orleans. Puerto Rico is in the house, ready to rock. We missed last year due to the visit of Hurricane Maria, but we are back and stronger. Glad to be here. Thank you to the 32 states that supported us during our recovery and efforts after the hurricane, including the host state, Louisiana. Although fulfilling our state mission, we always support our federal mission, having mobilizations to Poland, Afghanistan, Honduras, and El Salvador. Last but not least, tomorrow night, the best party in town, 40th floor at the Marriott Hilton. Piña colada with Puerto Rican rum.
The island of steel drums, the U.S. Virgin Islands.
We drinking rum and Coca-Cola. Virgin Islands is back. We missed last year because we had those 2 Cat 5 visitors. But thanks to each and every one of you in here, we're still standing. The best executed military exercise in the region, and we thank you. We thank you for your prayers. We thank you for your support. We thank you for your service. We are VI strong, and VI is still nice. Thank you.
And finally, where America's Day begins, Guam.
Hafade, the island of Guam, home of the Ladi and the Tautamona, where America's Day begins. We are not located in the Caribbean, and we have still not tipped over. We're so far west, we're in the far east. If you want to know what the future is, ask us, because it's tomorrow in Guam. Tano Itzamoru, we are the nation's tip of the spear. 7,000 miles from the mainland, we are the military hub of the Western Pacific. We're smaller than any of the states, with a population of 170,000. But we have the highest enlistment rate in the nation. We are the second most guardsmen per capita. 1 in 8 residents are military veterans. We eat more Spam and Tabasco per capita than anywhere else in the world. You're welcome, Minnesota and Louisiana, for our contribution to your economies. We have villages, not cities. Our number one industry is tourism, and that's because our beaches are better than yours. Biba Guahan, Biba Nagas.
Mr. Chairman, I'm happy to report that we have a quorum.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a quorum.